note, I did think it was a little bit ironic that somebody that doesn't have lips is always talking about somebody having lips.
But I'm saying that's what women are. That's the pushback that women are saying. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. I should still be treated with respect. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, of course. But I think it probably would be the same thing for women. I mean, for men. Like, that's almost like saying just because I have all gold teeth top and bottom with multiple chains and my pants sagging, don't you think I'm a thug? You know, and it's just like, well, we don't know. Or don't you think I'm out here on the street? So I think perception, implicit bias, all of that stuff, like, we automatically come with, and it's just, that's just the reality of it. So it's carry the way that you want to be seen, or carry the way that you want to be treated. But at the end of the day, your appearance can sometimes teach people how to treat you, or, you know, until they have a conversation with you, then they're going, you know, that also teaches them how to treat you. But if a person judging a book by its cover, we already know, like, we learned that in like second grade. Like,
and dare I say, in this space, when we are talking about social justice, right? In this current climate, when we're talking about social justice, and we're talking about protect Black women, and we're talking about trust Black women, and we're talking about locking up the race soldiers that murdered Breonna Taylor, and we're talking about Kamala Harris, who is the first ever she's the VP nominee for the Democratic Party. We'll get to Kamala, but is this the right song for this time in this moment? Because it's like Black men and women are trying to uplift, because of Sandra, we're trying to uplift the image of Black women, and stuff like that. And then we got a jam that's number one, talk about there's some hoes in this house. Huh?
How about the music that Black men are making? It goes both ways.
I don't like that argument. We talk about WAP right now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're gonna talk about one, talk about all. Y'all.
Yes, but guess what?
If that song wasn't as hype as it is, y'all really wouldn't be mad right now.
No. Do you think I dislike the video?
Listen.
Do you really think that I sat up there and said, this is disgusting. I can't believe this Merlot. You really think I watched that video like that?
He was just like that. Look at that video. Look how close
I was like this. There was some chips. I didn't watch it. I was not watching it like that. You think I was offended? No, I'm not offended.
But I'm saying that's what women are. That's the pushback that women are.
Hey, welcome to the Soapboxx Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Legacy, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I know everybody is geared up. This is a special edition of the Soapboxx Podcast, because now, instead of being the hottest podcast on your streaming services on a Thursday, we the hottest podcast on your streaming services on this Wednesday, Thanksgiving Needs, with my man Alan York. What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving, my brother. How you doing with the fresh? What is that? The plaid lumberjack.
You know, this is just a little motherland couture. I'm actually just coming from outside getting my eggnog. So, you know, fresh from outside, actually fresh from a nap, then fresh from outside, then fresh to the soapbox. So, you know, I couldn't miss it. Happy holidays, brother, man. How are you?
Man, I am good. Yo, it's so great minds think alike. One, we're wearing red. Two, I am actually, after this podcast, about to go to the store myself to get some eggnog and some hot chocolate and all that good stuff. I got some, shows I got to binge watch before I am off to do what I got to do, headed out of town for the holidays. But this episode wouldn't be just a regular episode. We had to invite some of our good friends for this Friendsgiving special. So without further ado, comedian Evan Berke is joining us on the Soapboxx Podcast. Long time. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm so good. Great to be here. TJ, great to see you. Alan, great to see you. Man,
Hi.
man, what a year it's been. Going into
Indeed.
this, you see, I got some red on. You know what I'm saying? We're repping.
I was about to ask you. I was like, how does it feel to be a champion? Atlanta Braves World Series champion. I know you're a huge fan. How did you take the win, man?
Oh man, well, you know what? I think I took it the way all Braves fans did, which is if you're a Braves fan and you've been paying attention, you knew that this was part of a 3-year plan, 4-year plan, and it happened and it all culminated, right? But you definitely thought that plan wasn't going to happen at the middle of the season. You know what I mean? But like big picture, you look back, you're like, oh, this was all part of the plan. So, man, it feels good. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing better than winning a World Series when there's just so many great storylines. You know what I mean? I felt like this World Series had all the storylines that you need to make sports great. It's almost like, it's hard not to feel like this is the World Series that Hank Aaron, handpicked himself, so
got it.
Kind of felt next level in that sense.
Indeed. Listen, I know how you feel about being a sports fanatic, fan of a sports team. I am headed to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where the ranked number 5 Michigan Wolverines are going to face Ohio State in the Big House. For those who listen to the podcast or anybody who knows me personally knows I'm a huge Michigan Wolverine fan. I have been a Michigan Wolverine fan and been committed to this team. It's been my longest committed relationship ever in my life. Heartbreak and all sorts of things that have been going on. Michigan has been the one consistent thing in my life. It's been rough against Ohio State, but this is my first time in the Big House at the stadium. Ohio State, Michigan, top 5 matchup, playoff atmosphere. I am excited. I'm pumped. I truly believe we're about to win and shock the world. But we'll see. We'll make it do what it do.
Have you ever rushed the field at a college game?
I'm hoping that this is the time. This is if we beat or let me excuse my correction. Got to speak those things into existence. When we beat Ohio State, I'm rushing the field. I will get that selfie on the field, rushing Ohio. Of us upsetting Ohio State. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Win or lose, it's going to be a great experience. Just being up there and seeing that and. I'm going to be like a kid in the candy store. So I'm really excited about that. Listen, Soapboxx Nation, thank you all for rocking with us. Make sure you follow us, Soapboxx Podcast, at Soapboxx Podcast with 2X. And we want to know throughout the podcast, for those who are watching or even on our streaming services or on YouTube, what are you thankful for? So shout out to Maya. Maya, happy Thanksgiving to you. On behalf of the Soapboxx Podcast, shout out to you rocking with us all the time. Says, I am thankful for being stable, having a healthy family soul, that God has blessed me, and the ones I have on this planet, and even the ones who have died. That's big. I think a lot of people, and I'll ask you, Alan and Evan, like a lot of times around the holidays, people really get introspective, like start thinking about like you were saying, the year that you've had, what are you grateful for? And I know we're going to get to what we're thankful for, but, speak to that. Is there anything that because of the holidays, because Thanksgiving came up that you just kind of sat and reflected on leading up into the holiday? I'll start with you, Evan.
Yeah, man. Definitely. This year's been definitely, the past couple of years definitely been, years of kind of just clarity and, you kind of got to really sit with yourself and make sure that you're good with yourself, so that you can go out in the world and be good with the world, So, man, this year, man, I'm just grateful that, man, I feel like I'm finally kind of just living my true path. You know what I mean? I feel like in the past I've had things, people, energy, spirits, whatever you want to call it out here, kind of, out here kind of manipulating the scenario and making me think a certain way, and you almost begin to doubt yourself when you hear all those things around, So this year I'm grateful to be trusting myself and really beginning to begin to actually love myself, not in a cocky way, You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I'm enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm enough. Now let me go out into the world because I got everything I need. I'm not missing anything. You know, that's this year been. You know, we always think, oh, I'm gonna go here and find it. I'm gonna go here and find it. No, dude, it's in you. Just claw away. You'll eventually find it. You know, so it's been a big year of that for me, man. So, and in doing that, you find out who your people are. You find out who's got your back. You find out who's kind of got, you know, your same priorities and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, that's what this year's been for me. And it's hard not to look back and be thankful on, even in those times when I felt like maybe I was being persuaded to go in a direction that wasn't my true path, man. I'm still thankful for that because it led me to this moment. So.
No, that's deep, because I definitely want to get your perspective on that, because you said something about, and I think what you're alluding to is having the right people around you in your circle, in your ecosystem. And I think that speaks to a larger point about success and mental health, and, you know, making sure that as you're going through the holidays, yeah, you're right. It does make you think like, man, who was there for me this year and stuff. But speaking of someone who's in my ecosystem, who's been there, my man Alan, what introspective things has the holiday season brought to you in your mentality? Anything that you kind of, you know, either reminisce or thinking or putting things into perspective as the holiday season approaches?
Generally, to be brutally honest, I try not to do too much of a deep dive during the holiday season. I am extremely hard on myself and always think I've grossly underachieved the last 12 months. So I backload my vacation and make sure I see people I love towards the end of the year. Generally, mostly every year, which I'm going to be doing as well. So I am generally focused on that. So anytime I'm surrounded by and get to talk to people that I love and has poured into me over the last years, X amount of years, I am pretty happy about that. I do an evaluation also, like probably the last 2 months or so, very briefly, more so like some sort of budgeting goals for the next year, or some sort of professional, more so personal and financial goals for the upcoming year. So, you know, hopefully in the year of 2022, I can actually like stick to those things. But in the meantime, I will be drinking away my irresponsibility.
Indeed. Yeah. Wait, are you, let me ask you, when you drink, and I know, Alan, I think you get a little feedback off of your mic when you're talking. I don't know if it's me or you or what's going on. I don't know. Hold on, let me testing. Oh, somebody's getting feedback. Maybe it's you, Evan. I don't know. Is it me? Yeah, maybe you. Somebody's getting feedback from there to the microphone. Yeah, but I was gonna say, are you guys what type of like alcohol? Like I know you said you were getting eggnog earlier, but I've never been like, I don't like alcoholic drinks that have like milk substance. Like I've never drank like conquito, what is it called? Like I've never had that, and I've also never had, like, I don't drink alcohol with, you know, and I know we talked about alcohol last episode with Sean Shaw.
Just the season.
So what is your holiday drink of choice?
Evan, what do you think?
What is my holiday drink of choice? Oh, that's a good one, man. Well, I do love, like spiked eggnog is amazing.
What do you spike it with? What do you put, like vodka or something in it, or?
So you put like Bailey's in there. You put like Bailey's, which is the same stuff you put in like a coffee liquor drink, man. But when I'm just like, like, you know, like cruising around family and like we're eating, we're drinking, and like I just got a drink in my hand, like, man, it's always going to be like a Jack and ginger ale. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be me. Nothing like crazy. You know what I mean? Nothing all that festive. My festive thing is the spiked eggnog.
Got it.
When I'm just trying to catch a buzz around the family, you know what I'm saying? You'll see me pouring some
I got roasted last week, Evan, because I said I drink Long Island iced teas, and apparently
you can't say that.
Really?
You can't say that.
DJ is the last to know that this is not supposed to happen.
Are you serious? You too?
Nah, dude. Nah. We keep that on the DL. We're all allowed to have that one drink that we like go to. You know what I mean? Like I love a good strawberry daiquiri, frozen strawberry daiquiri. But that's not going to be my holiday drink out here.
Nobody told. So this whole time I'm sitting there confident, going on dates. Like, let me get two Long Islands.
Well, that's when you're clubbing. You know what I mean? Because it does the trick. It hits you hard.
Yeah. When I'm out, like when I'm I don't want to. When I'm like at my place or whatever, I'm drinking like wine or Moscato. I don't have like a hard drink. I gotta get my hard drink. Like I'm not drinking Hennessy straight. Like I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you imagine pulling up to like your family's Thanksgiving and everybody's pouring their drinks and you're just taking every liquor and pouring it into a cup. They're like, "What are you making? A Long
Island iced tea."
Like, hey, you got any more alcohol? They're like, dude, you have 8 bottles out here.
I am not a drink. You know what? That's gonna be on my New Year's resolution. I need a new drink because I'm either drinking Chardonnay, Moscato, Long Island, or Patron. Patron is my thing, so I like tequila.
Yeah,
so
I also go for like the mule, like the Moscow mule, big mule guy, very refreshing. Ginger beer.
I've never had that.
Yes.
Oh man, it's like ginger beer, vodka, lime. Ooh, it's like refreshing. They give it to you in like a copper mug normally.
It's great.
I think there's a spot that has like these like mixologists down in Orlando, and they serve drinks. It's not like a Long Island. It's just like, I just see a concoction. I'm like, okay, this seems good. I always like things that are sweet in nature, but I guess I need to get myself a new drink. Anyway, let's switch the subject because I'm feeling very insecure about this. This is the second episode that I'm not. But Evan, so are you still doing the your own podcast, the live podcast? I know you were in Tennessee. You travel a lot. Where have you? What's going on with that? How's that been going for you?
Yeah, so still doing the show and tell. The guys that I've been working with so it's a podcast kind of web show called Show and Tell, kind of like between two ferns kind of vibe. I bring interesting guests on. They bring on an item, and we do like a classic kindergarten style show and tell. I got a little Lazy Susan that we have on the table. We put the item on the Lazy Susan. We light it up. We make the item look real sexy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, we've been doing that. And the guys there in Nashville, I do it with these guys called Queen Ave Collective. Just these guys that run an amazing production company. If you're ever in Nashville and need production crew, Queen Ave Collective's got you. But those guys have really helped me take that idea to the next level. We've done 3, this year, me moving to Nashville, I wanted to get there and meet people and kind of, start my own kind of project like that. And we ended up doing 3 shoots for a total of about, 15 to 18 episodes. Each episode is an individual person coming on and sharing an item. And I'm not going to lie, the last round we did, round 3, I really like the way those episodes look. I really like the feel of them. And, I'm one of those guys that's like, I'm all about taking my time. You know what I mean? I'm in no rush. If I get one day on this earth living my ultimate dream, that's all good. I don't need 20, 30, 40 years of it. Like, just give me one day. You know what I mean? So I'm in no rush. So I really like how we've been able to build this idea over the past year and get it to a point where we like the way it looks. We kind of like the concept and people have responded really well. Yeah. Now it's all about just staying motivated. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, which, luckily in Nashville, tons of creatives, tons of people, TJ, like yourself, asking me, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing with your show and tell? When's the next one? And that's the kind of stuff we creatives need. You know what I mean? So, 2022 is going to be a big year for show and tell. Got some really great guests lined up and really liking where the production is at.
Cool. Are you still touring? And
still touring. Yeah. The thing about comedy, and again, the thing about it is, I've always had a day job in comedy. And for a long time, I had a day job that was quite demanding, required me to be in the office 45, 50 hours a week and limited vacation or whatnot. And now I've got a job that's really great. I work remotely, a lot of flexibility. So yeah, it allows me to get on the road and tour quite a bit. So I'm doing quite a few shows in Nashville right now. I started a monthly show in the heart of 5 Points in East Nashville at Donut Distillery. Awesome spot. They have artisanal miniature donuts. They also have a full bar, liquor, beer, wine, everything. So we do that the second Friday of every month in Nashville, Tennessee, at Donut Distillery. So launching that show, has been really great. And then, my goal in 2022 is to hit the road. I bought a bunch of merch this year. I designed merch.
Okay.
Bought it because you have to buy it to then sell it. Anybody who knows the merch game, if you're one of those people that's like, oh, I'm going to send out my audience a link and hopefully they buy it and then they'll make it per buy. It's like sometimes you got to show up with a bag of shirts and
then have people buy it. Yeah.
So my goal next year is I don't even know if my goal next year is to do comedy so much as it is to sell all this merch. So, doing comedy, sell the merch.
Buy my shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get out there.
TJ, listen, man, TJ. It sounds like we have we already have a destination for a little road trip in 2022 because donuts and beer is my kind of carrying on, and I've always wanted to visit Tennessee. So, listen, that might be a quick little 2-day pit stop we have to make.
You know what?
I don't know. And there might be one of the big 4 WWE shows coming to Nashville next year at a little Nissan Stadium, a little SummerSlam action. So maybe we can go there for we little cross promotion.
Indeed. You know what's funny? Because I actually did speak with Just Say. Just Say is actually our co-host is feeling a little under the weather. We wish her well, and she did an excellent job this week in Boston. She actually had her own shows that she was doing and hosting with her in the Verdian community. So she did very well, and we spoke about. I spoke to her today, but she was like, "Yeah, we're ready to, do something live." Like I know before we did a live show, and then COVID hit. So the Soapbox hasn't done anything live. We want to be able to do something or plan something. So 2022, we definitely want to do something more in that realm. And so, dude, I'm good. I mean, I plan on going to Dallas for WrestleMania, and I'm gonna have a cowboy hat, and
Broadway and
belt buckles.
That's where they sell the cowboy hats. That's where you get those cowboy hats. They got them in Texas.
Where?
So in Nashville, we've got Broadway. I don't know if how much you guys know about Nashville, but downtown Nashville, there's Broadway, and it is just honky tonk after honky tonk, bar after bar after bar with live music, and then you'll have then you have a store with cowboy hats and cowboy boots, and all the cowboy shirts and. Maybe you need to come to Nashville before you go to Dallas because we get you
probably. Yeah, you know what it is? Is because I don't know about anybody else, but before I used to think traveling was just when people say, when you're working and you're working paycheck to paycheck and stuff, you think traveling is oh my God, for me to get from here to there. I never did the whole airplane or even rental car thing. So, because I was always trying to make ends meet and catch up. But it's now you start looking around at flights and different things. You're if you really plan things out in advance, it's not as expensive as you really think. If you prioritize certain things, you may need to make some sacrifices. Right. But yeah, I can learn it from you, A, because you be finding tickets everywhere. You're yo, I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Yeah. My thing has always been I'm very anti-traveling during any sort of peak of anything. So I'm not a holiday traveler. I'm the type of person that'll show up on a Tuesday morning and just enjoy the city till a Thursday or a Friday, and then I'm gone. Cheap tickets. For me, probably the biggest, not I want to say obstacle, but where I try to cut costs, or where I don't really can't afford to cut costs is the hotels. So I need myself I feel for me personally, hotel was a major part of the stay, even if I'm not going to be there, even if I'm just going to be there for the night, the hotel needs to be decent. So, the plane tickets, I'm pretty flexible with, just because, you know, I work remote as well. But a hotel, I need a decent hotel in a decent area. Ubers, I've found, are not nearly as expensive elsewhere as they are here in New York and Florida. Florida's Ubers are pretty expensive, but everything is 45 minutes away. So I get it. But yeah, man, just flexibility, weekday flights, and, you know, just going to obscure places.
What's your favorite place? What's your favorite obscure place you've been to, or a couple?
Wow. Okay, I would say favorite obscure place is Maine. I went to Maine once. I accidentally stumbled on those tickets because I was looking up Portland, thinking I was going to Oregon, and then I was like, so alarmed.
You were just randomly gonna just go to Portland?
No, I was gonna go to Portland. No, well, my boy, he hit me like, yo, you know, we're going to Portland, Oregon for something.
Okay.
Like maybe a couple of years ago. He was like, you know, come with me. So I'm typing in Oregon in JetBlue, and I'm like, wow, these tickets are really cheap. And I was very alarmed to find that these tickets were so cheap to Portland. It took me a little while to realize it was Portland, Maine. But at that point, the tickets were so cheap, I was committed. F it, I'm gonna go to Maine. It's $50. I found out when like Lobster Fest was. Just went to Maine for Lobster Fest weekend, and it was pretty cool. I mean, the Lobster Fest was like maybe 2 hours out from the hotel. It was like another 45 minutes out from the airport. So that was a little weird back and forth. But outside of that, I probably like spent 2 or 3 days there. Like there's a beach out there, so I got a hotel by the beach. So I can literally look out the window. It was like an old school bed and breakfast, and I can look out the window at night. I could hear the beach. So that was really cool. So that's definitely probably one of my most random, not one of the most random trip that I've taken. That was pretty dope. So shout out to Portland, Maine.
Yo, have y'all ever, I know for Thanksgiving, I know that there's somebody right now, right? Tonight, they're going to be like meeting their family or meeting their girlfriend's family for the first time, right? Or doing the whole like couples, you know, everybody's doing the couples Thanksgiving thing, right? Have y'all ever experienced, I've never had that that Thanksgiving experience with couples. Have y'all experienced that? Or is there any advice that you would give to somebody who's maybe watching this podcast or maybe stumbling on the podcast that, you know, any do's and don'ts, Thanksgiving do's and don'ts for the meeting the family or bringing somebody to the family for the first time Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh man, well I just feel like at every Thanksgiving dinner there becomes this like pressure, like somebody's got the bud and is like, yo, are we about to go get hungry? You know what I'm saying? And if you're the new guy, like you're just meeting like your partners, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that because you'll start rambling at the table or you'll say nothing. You know what I mean?
I'm the nothing guy.
No way to come back to the table and play it cool. Like so that's my advice because some cousin is going to be out there to sabotage you. And don't let it. That's those spirits I'm talking about, dude. They're out.
I feel you. I don't really get intimidated easily. I'm much of an observant person. So if I was ever in that type of situation, I like to watch people because I like to watch who I'm with and how they interact with their family, because how the family treats that person is pretty much how they're going to treat you, right? You're an extension of that other person. What about you, A? Have you ever, did that?
No, absolutely not. That's not
that's a level of commitment.
That's
Like, I do not travel on the holidays. I said this.
Yeah, that's not my ministry. But I will say this though, like from just being around families in general, not even significant others, but just like being around, like just my homies' family. Like I do feel that there is a small window of time where everyone's like, there's a small window of time where you kind of can be reserved in the cut, like TJ was saying, and just kind of do your little observation thing. I think that's a small period of time. I do think that the majority of like family and friend gatherings, the other half of that is like everyone inebriated. So you just kind of really have to get through that first half of that little formal stuff. And then once everyone has their drink of choice in hand, which everyone starts before they eat, and then it continues throughout the meal. And then by the time like the post-meal stuff happens, everyone's like who they truly are. So my advice is, listen, just get through the first 2 hours. Everybody will be on their vice of choice by hours 3 through 5. So just hang in there.
I'm always big on like just rip the Band-Aid off, man. If you know that maybe this is the first time you're meeting your significant other's dad or the mother or whatever, like, you know, you just got to go straight to that, like, and have that conversation. Like, don't let people have to come to you, right?
What conversation?
What
conversation?
I'm talking about like when you meet, like you want them to feel comfortable. Whoever the parents are, you want to make sure that they're comfortable knowing that you're with their significant other. There's no issues. You know, y'all gotta, you know, have a good, you know, having a good time. You know, and everybody's, you know, that they get to know you. They're familiar with you, because people, especially nowadays, they get really concerned about who the family member is dating. So they want to know, okay, who is this person? Who are you? So you just kind of like, you represent you don't put on, like I never put on a show, but you make sure that you present yourself like, hey, this is who I am. But like if the family has to come, like for instance, if I met somebody, like if my sister would have brought somebody for Thanksgiving, and I got to go to him and ask you, you know, interview him like, hey, so what do you do? Or so what do you know, if I got to go and do that, then that's showing me as a family member, like, oh, you just, you know, you're not really into this. Like you really want, so, you know, introducing yourself, being firm, but not doing too much where you're, you know, people feel like, you know, whoa, this, you know, I'm feeling claustrophobic here.
Right.
That's my style. Like I'm not gonna sit in the corner and be quiet where they're like, yo, what's up with old dude? Like you know, kind of, yeah, you want to make sure people are like, yo, this is who I am, this is what I represent. If you have any issues, or if you ever want to get in contact with me about your daughter's safety, or you know, whether if it's in a different state or whatever, like this is usually like exchange numbers, that kind of thing.
So you do like a whole orientation, like first day of school type of conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, let me speak to the commitment issues. Yes.
Listen, I'm asking because I don't have experience. I'm asking you.
Okay, let me put it this way. If you are going to someone else's Thanksgiving, a significant other's Thanksgiving, that is something that is, I deem very serious. That's like one level below engagement. Like they're inviting you on one of the biggest meals of the year, right? To be around their family. Yes, it is an orientation. You need to make sure that you're basically, it's what do they call it? It's like a soft opening. It's like, hey, this is who I'm with. I'm present. Yes, you're being showed off. It's like when USA Network would not have wrestling on and they would have the show dog. Yeah, like show dogs, like a dog. She's showing you off. So you got to prance and you got to do your little, you know, whatever, so that people will be like, yo, that's, you know, you got to get the, you don't need everybody. You need mom and dad to at least feel comfortable, but you need one cosigner.
Grandma.
It could be
I always go for the grandma, and I just make them laugh and laugh and laugh. Oh, you need more water? Let me get that for you. Oh, we're in there, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what
Usually
I mean?
with me,
I turn into a straight up waiter at Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh, let me clear the table. You know what I'm saying? Start making myself look useful.
Right. And all you have to do is, just tell me, no, you don't need to do that once. Because I'm not going to come back and ask again.
Yeah, no, I don't need to do that. Okay, I'll sit down.
Yeah.
You do the fake help.
Well, I already got these 3 plates. I'll at least take these 3, but no, then I'll sit down. I'll get dessert first, and then I'll sit down.
I do feel like that's like a high, and I was going to ask you all about this. Like, that's kind of like a high risk. Like, even previously going into a Thanksgiving, I feel like I at least need to like meet the parents one time prior to then, so they can have a little bit of familiarity. Like meeting everybody simultaneously at the biggest family event of the year has always been like kind of crazy to me. Like you can ruin our family's whole year, or at least the 3 weeks until Christmas. But yeah, high risk, high reward.
But you really get to see how how their family acts in that situation, right? When they're around their friends, they're cutting loose, they're hosting, right? Some people turn straight up mean when they're hosting. You know what I'm saying? They start yelling at people, hey, do that. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know, you kind of get to see people in their element.
Also, and not to like bring up you know, kind of like obligatory social media debates, but I'd be remiss not to ask you guys your stances on who's issuing your plates in regards to, like, are you guys doing the science between, like, is the mom issuing the plates, or is the significant other issuing the plates, or should I be issuing the plates to my significant other and the mom? Like, do you guys have some sort of theory about that, or do you care, or is that just something the internet likes to argue about for no reason?
I'll let you go first. Evan, because I already know. I have a theory on. I have a diagram, a chart of.
Because that's tough, right? Because it's like, so you're saying like, because you make the plate and then dish it out, kind of thing,
right? Yeah, I mean, however you think it would be. I mean, do you just relax and let the girlfriend do that, or do you like take initiative, like, yo, babe, you want to play? Or
I got you, right? So she takes her plate, you take your plate, but you do all the serving. So she's holding her plate going down.
Empty plate.
That's the buffet style.
She's not holding it with one hand, also having to serve, right? So she's got two hands on the plate. You've got one hand on your plate, and then your other hand is serving for the both of y'all.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
But again, it's like teamwork, but also it's like, you know, she can stay firm, steady, you know, and because the other way around, she'll start feeling the pressure to serve your plate. It's like, no, we don't want that. You know what I mean? So go ahead and do that, right? Like, just make sure you're putting that chicken on. You want that piece? You want that piece? How about that piece? Oh, you only want 2? Well, you're gonna get 3. It's Thanksgiving.
My theory is this. It depends on the culture. Depends on, you know, because certain cultures, like, you try to get up in the kitchen doing anything, it's like, who's this person think he is? Sit your ass down. So you got to at least do some recon to know who and what kind of culture it is, right? But overall, I would say you are not, like, it goes dad first, right? So your lady is going to, if she's out there with mom serving food, if it's not buffet style, right? If they're out there serving food, you got to be cool with dad is always going to get his meal first.
Big piece of chicken.
Then, yes, mom is not supposed to be serving you, right? The daughter is looking to see if you're going to let the mother serve you, because if the mom serves you, that's also like a little slight. You got to wait and let your girl serve you and be like, oh, okay, thanks. So mom serves. But if the daughter goes and serves dad, you got to be like, oh, okay, bet. That's because that's dad. You're not husband, you're boyfriend showing up, right? So, but what you do on the back end to show that you ain't just this, patriarchal dick, you got to be like, oh, I'm done with my food. Would you like me to get you seconds? You always ask your girl to serve your girl if she would like to get, if she wants more, or if she wants to get, if there's a dessert being served, if you get hers. Because then the other family members are going to see that you ain't going to just be, I turn out here, or Al Bundy, like, yo, just cook me my dinner. It's a partnership. You see what I'm saying? So even though she is serving you your food, you're still willing to do the little things like, oh, let me go ahead and get you that. But if you just on some like, nah, where's my plate?
Where's my
dessert? Father and the mother may not say nothing, but the cousins and the uncles is going to be looking at you like, so okay, I see. So
with the strategy, because I feel like, like I said, I haven't been in like the relationship portion, but I know like when I go to families, the homies families, sometimes we're like whispering and stuff like that. Yo, you want something? So like, it seems like with your strategy, you have to be real meticulous, even about like your voice inflection. You got to be like, oh, so babe, do you want a second? Do you want seconds?
Yes.
Just so they know, right? Just so they
you want to make sure, and this goes back to familiarity and making sure people in the family know that you got their significant, their family member, right? You got like, hey, if they need something, I got it. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? But you're not really like, I know that's kind of dramatic. Like, you're not really putting on for them. You're just being who, like, my one rule is don't do anything you don't normally do. So if you normally don't offer to do that stuff, if you're in front of your girl and then now that you're in front of her family, like, oh, sweetie, let me go ahead and get your plate and all this stuff, that may be cool that may make you survive through the Thanksgiving dinner. But when you get home and then you just go back to your regularly scheduled program, you're going to bring up the fact that, oh, so in front of my people, then you look like you just, faking the funk. So I do those things regularly anyway when I'm in a relationship. So it's like having that consistency to be like, hey, this is what we do. This is our way of life. But I will say this, as big as I am, I'm not a fan of buffet style Thanksgiving serving. It's too much pressure. It's too much, because if it's buffet style serving, especially if somebody is on the other side, either serving you or whatever, or the spread is there, now you have the pressure. You have to taste everything. And I don't have that big of a palate. Like, if it's, you can't just be like, because someone's going to ask you, hey, did you try XYZ? And if that XYZ has never been on your plate, or you don't like XYZ, like for instance, I don't like macaroni pie, right? I don't like certain things. Okay. So if it's on my plate, and I also don't eat seafood. So unless there's a medical excuse, you are obligated to try everything. You see what I'm saying?
No, so, you're a better man than me.
But if it's served, if your girl is serving you, she already knows what you kind of like and don't like. So you kind of whisper like, hey, don't you put that sweet potatoes on. I don't like sweet potatoes either. Like, don't put that shit on or cranberry. I don't like a lot of shit. Yeah. So don't put it on my plate, because at the end of what you don't want is you're sitting there, you've eaten what you wanted, and then you got the other stuff still on your plate, but you want seconds. Now you got to do some Mission Impossible. How do I get this plate into the trash can before I go and get the seconds and load my plate up again? And it's very uncomfortable. So you're sitting there like eating the shit you don't like. So yeah, it's too much pressure.
Well, we also got to be on guard, right? So we're about to be at our Thanksgivings. We might have some significant others of like our family members there. So we got to be on the lookout. And one red flag is if you ask somebody, hey, did you try the green bean casserole? If they go, oh yeah, it was great, but they didn't eat it, they're just a people pleaser. They're just a yes person. That person got to go.
But we didn't serve green bean casserole.
The person's a psychopath. Don't trust that person, and that person runs rampant at Thanksgivings. They do. But that's why you do the follow-up question. Oh, you liked it? Do you think it needed anything? I thought it was a little like.
See,
not Auntie's best this year. Tell you that.
Yeah, that in black households that don't work. They ain't no.
I thought it was great. They're like, all right.
that won't work. See, the thing is, I don't. That's so uncomfortable, man. I don't I don't even like, even at work where they do the little potlucks. I don't like potlucks. I don't like pressure into eating certain things that I don't like. And me, I've also been cursed with being blunt and honest. so if you're asking me for a critique, I'm like,
no, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? It was something.
Now you always got to do the send me the recipe. Yeah, just send me the recipe. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can duplicate that.
But also, if you are inviting a significant other to a family Thanksgiving, you have to give them some sort of an itinerary or some sort of like recon to, hey, Aunt Pearl is cooking her famous casserole. Don't eat that shit. Don't just stay. They gotta give you some notes. All right, you can't just walk in like you were saying, Alan, like you're meeting everybody for the first time. Thanksgiving is usually the culmination of something, right? For instance, like we always say, cuffing season ends on Halloween, because after Halloween, you're either spending time with your significant other, you either dressed up alike, or you either spent Halloween together, or if you didn't spend Halloween together and you've been dating someone, you're like, damn, I really wish I would have been with you for Halloween. And so you make it a point to go and be a part of each other's Thanksgiving. But all before that is like prep work, right? You're telling your significant other, okay, this is what this family member is like. This is who this person is. Their uncle such and such is going to ask you very uncomfortable questions. Like, you got to be like, you can't just tell somebody, hey, be there at 6, and then they show up with no sort of knowledge or information on any family members or anything. Because then you're like, oh, this is my uncle. This person could say some racist shit. They also talk about politics a lot. You're going to disagree with it. You got to know what you're walking yourself into, so you're not going in there blind.
It's a lot. Thanksgiving politics is just so much.
Oh, it's not fun.
So much. And Lord forbid, or it could be a good thing. You may have to do it all again in 3 weeks for Christmas.
Did you? I don't know. Have you gone to like Christmas parties with significant others? I've gone to like one, but I haven't done the family Christmas thing. That's different.
I mean, I've gone to a Christmas party, but I do well at those. Jews always do well at the Christmas party. We always do very well. Oh yeah.
How was that? Yeah, I'm
almost like an ornament showing up.
I love like those, especially those office Christmas parties. Like, I will say this about white folks love y'all when it's time for Christmas parties and it's open bar and they done got their bonuses. They're like, oh man, y'all they start playing the Love Shack. Y'all love that shit.
I once worked for a corporate crisis PR firm in New York. One of my first jobs out of college. And after about 2 years at the company, I was on the team that planned our holiday party. And my God, we had no rules. It was just make sure it's awesome. Make sure the beer never stops. Make sure the liquor never stops. And I mean, wow. Unbelievable. You're right. Those Christmas parties, man, they should call it. I mean, that's the great exodus. That's when people really try and leave their company. You know what I mean? Like, let's ruin my professional reputation in one night here.
Yes, because there's always somebody that takes it too far. On Monday, it's like, we need to see you in the HR and the HR office.
I feel like there's a group of those. It's gonna be a couple.
Yeah. There's always
they're gonna have some co-conspirators.
Always HR meetings on the Monday after the Christmas party. Somebody always does something inappropriate. There's always a lead too. It's always one of the executives that's like, wow, Tim is no longer going to be with us in January. He'll be moving on to other things. And we're like, oh, we saw Tim get down with the intern in the bathroom, so we already know what the fuck is going down.
We wish Tim the best in his next endeavors. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We don't.
If you guys want a good movie to watch, Office Christmas Party is a sleeper Christmas movie.
That was they had like a big cast, right? Who's in that?
Yes,
right? Like
it's an ensemble cast. It had Jason Bateman, Jennifer Aniston, TJ Miller, some other folks. It's fucking hilarious. It was one of those. I stumbled upon it. It was like one of those, like, years ago. My ex and we wanted to go to a movie, and we're like, all right, let's go watch. I guess we'll watch this. And I was rolling. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. So for those who are looking for a movie to watch this holiday season, watch that. And we'll talk about that when we do our Christmas special about sleeper holiday movies, because
I'm not on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in Bad Santa. Boom.
Which one with
Billy Bob Thornton?
I've never seen it. I've never been a fan of it. Is that really good?
Oh, it's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. It's about a drunk mall Santa. Oh, it's the best.
You know what I like? I like Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. That shit is hilarious.
I want you to watch Bad Santa.
I will. I will.
And then
I
hit
will.
me back.
I will watch. I will watch Bad Santa.
I think
Now
both
you got a Christmas movie that's like your go-to. I mean, Jingle All the Way is not my go-to. What my go-to movie is? I mean, of course, everybody you got to watch Home Alone. I mean, you got to watch 1 and 2. You got to watch Home Alone. Of course, you got to watch that. But what's my and what is my one Christmas movie? I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, I got a list.
I recently got back into I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. So I just got back into that movie. That's on Disney Plus. JTT.
I've never seen that either.
I don't know if you remember that movie. Oh, it's a great, not great movie. You know what I mean? It's a great, okay movie. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I have to. I know. I always watch Hook on for around Christmas.
Christmas
on
Story.
Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, I always watch the Cosby Show episode. Yes, I still watch the Cosby Show, ladies and gentlemen. I watch the Cosby Show episode of
TV1 every night, every day.
Huh? Yeah, I watched the Cosby Show episode of the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
Where he's like, it's like Clifford's Wet Adventure, I think it's called, where he has to go back and forth to get ingredients and everything's going on Thanksgiving, and they keep sending him to the store, and it's storming outside. It's hilarious. And Denise, it actually invites Olivia's mom to Thanksgiving for the first time. So it's actually a really good it's a good episode. I do want to ask you this. Thanksgiving dinner. Any overrated Thanksgiving dishes that y'all think are overrated? That people love? Give me an unpopular opinion about Thanksgiving.
Yeah, somebody came out against mac and cheese the other day. I forget who that was. It was a big deal.
Somebody who plays for the Patriots.
Yeah, yeah, he did say that. Yeah,
and I was like, a Patriot would say that. Very unpatriotic, but
I don't like mac and cheese.
Very New England Patriots thing to say.
You know,
I am from Boston, so I don't eat mac and cheese and I drink Long Island. So fuck it.
I do think when we're talking about Thanksgiving, I mean, I think we can get mac and cheese off the table. Like, let's think. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're right on that.
Where am I? What am I?
Because I'm all about
the mac and cheese.
I'm all about the green beans.
Vikings?
I'm all about corn. Well, that's not green.
Yeah.
That's a vegetable. You know what I mean?
What about stuffing? I think stuffing's overrated. I think people like put stuffing on there because it's like they because of the whole turkey. They package it as, oh, you got to have gravy, stuffing. No, you really only need to have mashed potatoes, and it needs to be garlic mashed potatoes, not no regular ass mashed potatoes. It needs to be garlic mashed potatoes. But yeah, I think stuffing is completely overrated. It doesn't need to be there, and those people who don't put little breadcrumbs and shit in there to make it, or celery. I don't want to eat crunchy stuffing either. It needs to be out of there.
Unbelievable.
But a good stuffing. Good stuffing is fantastic. I mean, you know what I think we can. I think we can do away with in Thanksgiving is some of the desserts. It's like I'm a big dessert guy, but chill out. I mean, we do this whole meal. Like, let's do one dessert. Like one, maybe two that we all share, but like too many desserts at Thanksgiving, it's overkill.
That's like a Seinfeld bit. Like, what is with the desserts? There's just too many desserts on the table. Yeah. Like I don't eat pie. So pumpkin pie, key lime pie, sweet potato pie, all that shit can go. I'm not like me. I am give me some marble cake. I don't know if y'all know what that is. Like the marble cake.
Oh yeah.
It's some cookie and cream.
Oatmeal raisins. Let's get some oatmeal raisin cookies up in here.
Yeah, or give me some brownies. Like give me a brownie, and I'm good. Like I'm straight. Alan, you have a meal, a dish that's overrated? You think?
Anything that's like off-whitey mayonnaise base, potato salad can go. Coleslaw can go.
Yeah,
they can leave and never return. I don't care who makes it. It doesn't matter. Your auntie with the bad arm, your grandma with the bad foot. It doesn't matter to me. Get them all out of here. I do not want anything mayonnaise based.
Yo,
abolish them.
You know what? You know what else is overrated? Second day turkey. Turkey
Yeah.
I
is
don't even like first day turkey, so
turkey is a one, like you eat turkey the first on Thanksgiving and it comes out, it's like, man, it's good. The gravy, it hits the mashed potatoes.
no.
But when you're getting seconds, or I mean, not even seconds, when you're that second, like the leftovers, and everybody's like, yeah, let's reheat the turkey. It's not the same. It's just, it's not good.
It's like chicken too. Like chicken doesn't taste always the same the next day, like it can. I feel like turkey's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
And turkey is like very, very specific. Like there's a reason why we don't eat turkey 99% of the year outside of one day, because it's just not the most appetizing. It's dry. Like outside of, there's like a fast food restaurant in Houston called the Turkey Hut. So besides that, your local fairs and your local Boston market, nobody cares about turkey. It's just like it's that one family member that, like, you know they're homeless, and so you invite them to all of the the free food events and stuff like that. It's obligatory.
Could you imagine living a life of a turkey? Like, I said, could you imagine living a life of a turkey? Like all year, you're thinking, man, life is good. They keep feeding me. I'm getting bigger. I'm getting stronger. Like shit is, and then like the anxiety of knowing, like, oh shit, they're about to murder all of us just so that they can be eaten. Like literally, a turkey's life is just being prepped to just be slaughtered. Like on one, like not just like throughout the year, like cows and everything. But like you have that anxiety like all year round. Like turkeys literally have to get pardoned by the. They're like, a turkey has to get pardoned to not be killed by the president of the United States. Like the odds of you dying as a turkey is pretty damn high, especially, but like throughout the rest of the year, like you were saying, Alan, you just chilling.
Well, I was gonna say they may be like a false sense of hope, because if they're looking at their chicken contemporaries, they're like, damn, the turkey's got to work over there. They losing people left and right. Couldn't be me though. And then sometime in the beginning of November, shit just gets very, very real.
Would y'all rather be a Thanksgiving turkey or like a cold cut turkey, like a boar's head? You know what I mean, turkey. You know,
those may be in rotation all year, so I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the shelf life those may be a little bit shorter than the Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be a Thanksgiving turkey, I'm gonna go out on my sword, because my forefathers have been Thanksgiving turkeys. I'm gonna go down with the ancestry. I don't want to be in nobody's damn some kid's lunchbox. If you gonna cook me. I'm just gonna be.
Yeah, I don't want to be. Somebody's putting mayonnaise on you, and then. Or I want to go out crispy. I want to be crispy, beautiful.
If you're a regular turkey,
around me, you know what I mean.
Somebody in jail might eat you from they give people turkey sandwiches, mustard and shit like that. Nah, if I'm going out as a fried turkey, high in cholesterol, and I want me. If you digest me, I want you to have heartburn. I want it to hurt. Like that's what I
slow burn.
Yeah, just slow burn, man. But before we wrap, because I know we wanted to do this quick special. I appreciate Evan you being on here. I want to, before we get to our moral of the story, Evan, let us know like what you're working on as far as if you got any shows or anything that you want to pub real quick, and then we'll go around with the moral of the story.
Yeah, well, I can be found, on Instagram, Facebook at Evan Berke. That's Berke, Evan Berke. Also, evanberke.com, just my first and last name. Got episodes of show and tell on there, stand-up comedy on there. I used to be on TMZ, so clips of me talking to people on there as well.
Did you have a clip of you talking? Did you talk to Young Dolph?
I talked to Young Dolph, man. Wow. Yeah, that was when I was doing TMZ in Atlanta. Wow. One day I was out at Phipps Plaza in Buckhead, and I saw Young Dolph, and damn, he was fresh off of like somebody trying to kill him in Los Angeles. Like someone tried to shoot him up, and it was pretty serious. He actually got shot. And yeah, dude, I saw Young Dolph, and I just started asking him some questions, man. And yeah, dude, in a situation like that, you want to tread lightly, right? Because you're like, oh, this guy is serious. But this guy's also like part of the TMZ ecosystem, right? So it's like, you're like, okay.
What do you mean by that when you say TMZ ecosystem?
Like, he's famous, and we've been running stories about him. You know, we had run stories about how he had gotten shot up in LA, and so it's like he's someone we've been covering. You know what I'm saying? But he's also like a real one. You know what I'm saying? And so you're like, that's always a fine line, because there's people that we cover that are complete fake phonies. You know what I mean? And they love it. They love it.
So you kind of know that, hey, if I go too far, like it could be a problem, because everybody don't subscribe to the same type of Hollywood principle type of industry principle.
And we're in Atlanta right now. Like, we're in Atlanta. No paparazzis around. It's just me, him, and his crew, kind of, you know? And so, yeah, man, you know, I just wanted to, you know, in that situation, you want to find common ground, man. So I had a near-death experience, you know, back in high school. I can only imagine that he maybe thought he was going to die when he was being shot at. Maybe he didn't. But I just asked him if his worldview had changed. You know, sometimes when people are confronted with their own mortality, it makes them think about life a certain way, and maybe they make changes and stuff like that. And, you know, we had a really good conversation about, man, just staying true to who you are and knowing your strength and, you know, knowing God's plan for you and stuff like that. So, man, it's really upsetting to see what went down with him. Seemed like a good dude that was trying to give back. And, you know, it's weird. Quite a few people that, like, I interviewed through TMZ kind of went down like a similar fate and stuff like that. And it's just, you're just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is crazy. And I don't know. It's like, I don't think people realize how, you know, when you're winning, people coming after you. You know what I'm saying? And people want stuff from you. And if you're not giving it to them or whatever, I mean, I don't know his situation particularly, but man, it's just a sad situation. But
that happened in Memphis. And how far is that from Nashville?
That's about 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know that he was like a big man around Memphis, man. He was about to go donate turkeys, dude. He was like on his way to donate turkeys. You know, so, but yeah, man, you know, but that interview with him was one of those that I'll never forget, just because, you know, I always like when I interview somebody and I always think they might like not be into it, and then they're actually like they're really nice and genuine. Like that was definitely how I would describe that situation.
That's cool.
Nothing but respect for him after that encounter. Some people I talked to, and I was like, oh, you're not somebody I really like anymore. And, you know, and definitely walked away with that with like a
different perspective on him.
Yeah.
That's dope. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. You sharing that with us. I saw it on your Instagram, and I was like, wait a minute. And I saw the clip, and I was like, I heard your voice, and I was like, is that? I was like, I wonder, and I was like, I gotta ask him about that. But yeah, that's definitely sad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alan, I'll be out in 2022 doing comedy, so come see me. I'll be selling your merch.
Absolutely. You look, we either got to go up there. Well, let's make it a point to visit each other. Say you got to come at least to Florida. I'm trying to get Alan. Well, Alan, you'll be here in a couple of weeks or whatever. But we're definitely trying to do something as a Soapboxx. Maybe we got to collaborate. We got to figure something out, man. Because 2022, I have more flexibility for us to be out there doing things now that some of the COVID restrictions or guidelines are kind of being a little bit more. I'll just say. Things are getting back to normal, so to speak, where, you know, we're able to do certain things. I was just at the Florida Classic. Giovanni was at the Florida Classic with her media credentials as well. So yeah, I think our next move, we really want to do a red carpet, man. Whether it's in Atlanta, we want to be able to have that experience as a squad, as a team. So that's something that in 2022 that we're looking to do. But Alan, yo, hit us up with what's your moral of the story, sir?
Oh man, moral of the story. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real brief, real simple. Be thankful. I mean, you know, the world, and of course, individually, everybody was in an extreme different place just 12 months ago. You know, it's as fast as the years go by. So much can change in such a little amount of time. But at the end of the day, as long as you're still here, you still have another opportunity. So Grateful to the Soapboxx family. Grateful to all the guests. Evan, I appreciate you stopping by and kicking it with us. So my moral of the story is just to be thankful.
Indeed. Evan Berke, what is your moral of the story, sir?
Oh, man. Well, my moral of the story is believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. And the narrative you tell yourself, it will play out. So love yourself. Be kind to yourself. You are capable. You are enough. And take that out into the world. People will love it. People will love you. And like Alan said, be thankful, man. It's all gratitude. The good, the bad, the ugly. Be thankful, be grateful, because it's gotten you here. And here's pretty good.
Absolutely. Listen, my moral of the story is it's pretty simple. It's it's on par for the course. Everybody's saying, be thankful, be grateful, but you also want to make sure you do your diagnostic, man. I think Thanksgiving is a perfect diagnostic holiday of like what and who you have around you and who is really thankful or value. I think when we're saying being thankful, you really got to figure out what you value. And I think Thanksgiving is one of those holidays where people get together with family and friends, and because you value them. And so I will say, whatever you value, run towards that and appreciate that. So I value the relationships and the friendships that I've built throughout my personal life or through the Soapboxx. I appreciate you, Evan, for being on here and always picking up my phone call. Alan, you know how much how I revere you, man, and what I think about you, and especially the ladies on the Soapboxx podcast, and even things in my personal life. So whatever you value, run towards that. And so whether it's but make sure you value your health. I know holiday seasons are not always great for everyone, and I want to make sure that I keep that in mind. So for those who don't have anybody to spend Thanksgiving with, it's okay. I've been there. There's times I spend Thanksgiving alone in the back room of a Golden Corral. There's times where I didn't have anybody to eat with, or on Thanksgiving, wasn't talking to family, all that stuff. But I'm thankful that there are better days ahead. And so want to make sure that you're valuing yourself, your self-care, like Evan said, and making sure that if you don't have the family, your immediate family around you, then take value and solace in the people that God has placed in your life, because sometimes family is not always blood. So make sure that you value that, and you guys come together and enjoy the holiday, watch some football, and make sure you root for the Michigan Wolverines as they beat Ohio State on Saturday. I will be there in the freezing cold, ready to rock. But this has been a great episode. Fellas, I appreciate chopping up with you as always. We will make it do what it do in 2022. And we're good. So for Soapboxx Nation, please follow us. Soapboxx Podcast with 2X. Follow Evan Berke. Follow Alan York. And have a happy, blessed Thanksgiving. And we will see y'all later. Peace.